You're watching ZBM TV9 Bermuda.
Be watching on Monday, May 15th for the 108th Pre-Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Special. One thing is certain, new champions will be crowned as the race comes out of the East End for only the second time in 39 years. Last year's winners Lamont Marshall and Ashley Eswanek have opted not to compete. Several key runners are absent this year, but we will be speaking with the new favorites. That's the Pre-Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Special, Monday, May 15th at 8 p.m. on ZFB TV7.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, May the 8th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Topping our news, shocking video footage of numerous road traffic crashes released to the public today as part of a campaign to drive home road safety in Bermuda. Government today pulled out all the stops to publicly show that it takes the continued incidence of road injuries and deaths very seriously. So serious is the issue, the government has declared a public health crisis. Tarai Trott picks up the story from here.
Video from one of the many police CCTV cameras stationed around the island. It shows a car routinely stopped at a stop sign and then exiting an unnamed road at night, when seconds later another vehicle is shown attempting to make a right turn when it strikes a motorcycle heading in the opposite direction.
Over a number of years, Bermuda records an average of 1 death on our roads per month.
The footage, along with images from other crashes captured on police videotape, was released to mark the United Nations World Road Safety Week. At a news conference to mark the occasion and to encourage motorists to behave better, Police Inspector Robert Cardwell, alongside government officials, revealed that most road collisions continue to involve alcohol, drugs, excessive speed, and inattention.
Besides the deaths occurring on the roads in Bermuda, Bermuda continues to record a number of road traffic collisions where the injuries suffered are serious, and in some cases life-changing. These serious injury collisions impact everyone, as the medical costs alone, which are then coupled with the cost of long-term rehabilitation and sometimes lifelong support, are a burden on all motor insurers.
Statistically, males are more likely to be involved in an accident resulting in serious injury or death.
These males will be disproportionately black and will be between the age of 20 and 30 and certainly in the prime of their life.
Let me get straight to the point.
Blunt in her language, Jean Atherton, the Minister for Health and Seniors, declared the continued road injuries and deaths to be a serious public health problem.
Indeed, Bermuda has the third highest rate of road traffic deaths compared to the OECD, while women have the third lowest. Of those killed in traffic accidents in the years 2010 to 2014, which motorcycle riders, pedestrians, pedal cyclists, car occupants, and boat occupants, 79% were motorbike riders.
The minister reflecting on the common wording the public is forced to hear in news reports where it concerns a serious road accident.
Tragically, news reports have a familiar phrase: a male riding on a motorcycle has died of his injuries. Name withheld pending notification of the victim's family. It's a report we hear too often.
Then there is the usual enemy on the roads: speed.
Globally, speed contributes to around 1/3 of all fatal road traffic crashes in high-income countries, and up to half in low and middle-income countries. For every 1 km per hour increase in speed, there's a 3% increase in the incidence of injury crashes and a 5% increase in the risk of a fatal crash.
Elsewhere, Transport Minister Michael Fay said government is still working on implementing roadside testing this year.
We are working with the Ministry of National Security, the Bermuda Road Safety Council, and CADA to further discourage impaired driving. And ministry efforts to improve road safety will also include the introduction of speed cameras at various locations around the island.
Minister Fay used the opportunity to introduce Ali Barjet, the new chairperson of the Road Safety Council. She highlighted some alarming trends that she had personally witnessed.
I don't really see a great deal of indicators being used in Bermuda, and the more I'm aware of it, the more I notice it.
Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Among the public activities planned for the week will include Piece of the Rock campaign, a campaign for school kids, as well as National Go Slow Days. Stay with us, more news in tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Breeze and Brook,
less than 25% of Bermudians have saved enough to enjoy retirement. Yes, it's easy to come up with excuses: credit card debt, children's education, low wages. Although these things can put a strain on your budgets, they don't make it impossible to save. At Friesenbrook Meyer, we'll show you how. And it's never too late. Call us for a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Friesenbrook Meyer, covering possibility.
Clearly, this was going to be a challenging road.
There was a lot of work to be done.
Serious disconnect between the board, management, and employees.
My employees stand to have a say in the future of the company.
Change was needed.
The Polaris effect, where labor, management, and corporate have come together to create a unique Bermuda success story.
Island Soul, where fashion meets comfort. Island Soul provides fashionable footwear hand-selected by our podiatrist that offers premium comfort. Located at 60 Victoria Street, Hamilton, Island Soul contains a friendly trained staff prepared to assist you with our vast selection of footwear, both male and female, with all sizes and widths available. Compression and travel socks, amongst other accessories, are also available in addition to a shoe modification and repair service, making Island Soul a one-stop shop for all your footwear needs.
This sports profile is brought to you by the Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon.
What inspired me to run was when I saw Marinette Bean run 1977, and she was the one who paved the way for us females to run the race. They opened it up in 1978 for female runners to run it, and I didn't do it 78 because I was in training then. I didn't think I was going to do it, so I did it in 79. Yeah, and that was the first time I ever did that distance. Yeah, that was tough. I like it coming out of St. George's. You know, knowing that I did it so many times out of Somerset, so St. George's was pretty different. So I've been doing some long runs, and I should be able to do this one pretty good. You know, I'm probably getting enough, 2 hours and so many. But I'm going to finish. Yeah, I always finish.
Welcome back. Well, as part of its ongoing $60 million investment in Bermuda's telecom infrastructure, Digicel today provided a progress update on 2 of its major infrastructure and technology projects. In recent weeks, Digicel has been upgrading its network in order to provide super-fast island-wide LTE data. Works are on schedule, and with 90% of the island complete by the end of the month, Digicel customers with compatible SIM cards and devices and plans will automatically be transferred to the new LTE network with speeds up to 10 times faster than the current service. In addition to LTE being ready for the America's Cup, the company has already deployed temporary high-capacity cell sites in the west end of the island. These will support continuity of service through the spike demand for data and voice across the race course and event sites. Digicel CEO Robin Seal said, quote, "Improving the network has been a top priority for the company after years of lobbying the regulatory authority for a fair share of spectrum. Digicel finally secured the necessary bandwidth to proceed with LTE at the end of last year." Digicel has simultaneously been constructing Bermuda's first and only full fiber to the home and fiber to the business network. The installation of this fiber network is also on schedule and is due to be completed by the end of this year. In other news, the 35th America's Cup is now just over 2 weeks away, and the official public host, Tucker Thompson, says all 6 of the competing teams are capable of pulling off the victory.
Well, it's no surprise the America's Cup attracts the best sailors in the world. I mean, that is the point of the event. So you look at the defender, Oracle Team USA, Jimmy Spithill. He won the event in 2010. He defended it in that miraculous comeback in San Francisco. It's been called the biggest comeback in sports, down 8-1 in a best-of-9 series, and he came back and won 8 races in a row. You can never write Jimmy Spithill out of any race. In fact, I wouldn't want to compete against him in anything at all. Then you've got Sir Ben Ainslie, Land Rover BAR. Ben is the most successful Olympic sailor of all time. He's now got his own team. He was with Oracle Team USA last time, the tactician that helped the team win the event, and he's one of the most formidable competitors. But then you've got Emirates Team New Zealand, one of the longest standing challengers in the history of the America's Cup, with Peter Burling, Olympic gold medalist at the helm. That's a kid that you never want to go toe-to-toe with on the water. And then the Kiwis themselves, I mean, they've got the new grinding pedestals that they're on bike pedal power rather than traditional arms. And they've got some other innovations, I'm sure, that we haven't seen. So you can never write the Kiwis out. Frank Camas, in his first America's Cup, keep this in mind, from Groupama Team France. Frank has never lost a major international regatta in which he's competed, inshore or offshore, multi-hull or monohull, single-handed or crewed. And this is his first time at the helm of an America's Cup boat, so you certainly can't write him out. And then you've got SoftBank Team Japan, Dean Barker at the helm. He was in charge of Emirates Team New Zealand last time. He's a formidable competitor. And finally, Artemis Racing. Nathan Outeridge, gold medalist. They have won races convincingly in the Louis Vuitton America's Cup World Series. They've also lost races, but then in training, they were relatively undefeated, minus 1 or 2 events. So you can never write them out either. If you asked me who I think is going to win this America's Cup, I'd have to flip a coin with 6 sides on it, because I really have no idea.
Turning to weather news, the rain is clearing, so we have a sunny Tuesday heading our way. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group, and we had a front in Bermuda that has now pushed eastward, and you can see we're the rain shield now just to the east of Bermuda. We've had plenty of clouds around the area, but we have some weak high pressure that's going to move in behind that, so things getting drier and less clouds as well. So our current conditions in Hamilton, it's 73 degrees. It's 76 degrees in St. George's. Our humidity is 72 to 77%. Winds are light and variable at 4 to 8 knots. And the water temperature is 75 degrees. Waves inside the reef, 1 to 2 feet, and outside, 3 to 5 feet. Like I said, tonight looking mainly dry, less clouds as well. So we'll call it partly cloudy with an overnight low of 66. Tomorrow, periods of clouds and sunshine, breezy as we get into the afternoon hours, and there'll be a shower in a few places, but many locations will remain dry. A high temperature of 75 with a low of 67. Our first high tide comes at 8:07 this evening, and then our first low tide comes at 2:30 in the morning on Tuesday. High tide number 2 is at 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday, and our second low tide is at 2:14 in the afternoon. Your gateway forecast, if you're heading out in New York City, looking nice. It's a little cool, 60 degrees with a partly sunny sky. Atlanta is warm, 85 degrees and partly sunny. And in Jamaica, we're at 86 degrees. Showers or a thunderstorm around. Barbados is at 88 degrees with some showers. So your extended outlook for your Tuesday, clouds and sunshine, perhaps a shower in spots. Like I said, many places will remain dry, only a few will see a shower. On Wednesday, clouds and sunny breaks. We'll have showers in the forecast for Wednesday. Thursday, sunny spells with a high temperature of 74 degrees. Next system comes through on Friday, so mostly cloudy with showers in the forecast. And then we have sunshine, a few clouds around on Saturday with a high of 75 degrees. If you want to stay up to date with all the weather has to offer, tune into Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Introducing Create, your style, your way. We at Big Savings Zone understand that you are unique and your style is personal. We know that your home is a reflection of who you are, and that's why you should create it your way. First, choose your style. Second, choose your color. Third, choose your accent pillows. With these 3 simple steps, you can now design your perfect living room. You are one of a kind, and so is your home. So create your style, your way. Exclusively available at Big Savings Zone, Southside, St. David's.
The following is an informational video on the new radiation therapy unit brought to you by Bermuda Cancer and Health Center.
Bermuda Cancer and Health Center are introducing radiation therapy to Bermuda because we recognize that there's a lack of access to care. We have approximately 200 people every year in Bermuda who would benefit from radiation therapy. Currently, we're seeing around 100 people actually get access to that treatment because it's only available overseas. for those individuals who may not have robust health insurance or have no insurance at all, getting overseas for access to care can be very, very challenging. Bermuda Cancer and Health Center, as the charity that are providing this service, means that our commitment to the community is everyone will be provided with care regardless of their ability to pay.
So radiation therapy is an anti-cancer treatment. It works by a machine producing a beam of photons that kills cancer cells. It's a very targeted beam that goes right into the center of the cancer and kills all the cancer cells that it can. With the model that we've designed here at Bermuda Cancer and Health Center, with the collaboration with Dana-Farber and Brigham and Women's Cancer Institute, we think that we can utilize the two most important things. One being near your family and your friends while you're going through a difficult treatment, while at the same time every decision, every part of the treatment is overseen and designed by one of the world's leading cancer centers.
Operating a radiation treatment facility is, when it comes to safety, the number one priority in terms of ensuring that those that use the facility, those that are working at the facility, our neighbors, members of public, that everyone is safe from potential exposure. And so we have worked very closely with the Dana-Farber Brigham and Women's Cancer Center, who are ranked number 4th by the U.S. News and World Report, to oversee the project design, construction, project management, and how the facility will be operated. And certainly the design is for a world-class, international standard operation.
Radiation treatment has a role all the way through the cancer journey. It can be used early on as the main part that cures the cancer. It can be used in combination with other treatments, so in combination with surgery or with chemotherapy. It can also be used for pain control, so if cancer is causing pain, radiation is very good at alleviating the pain. And it can also be used to help with symptoms towards the end of life.
The benefit with the introduction of radiation therapy on the island is really significant to the community, the whole community. Patients being able to receive this level of care at home means that they will not need to spend anywhere from 5 to 9 weeks overseas getting care. And us providing this as a not-for-profit, as a charity, we will realize anywhere from 20% to 50% savings. And what we know as well is when patients can stay at home and receive care, that normalcy, that living that normal life and day to day and being able to continue to work is significant in terms of the overall healing and effectiveness of care.
This informational video on the new radiation therapy unit was brought to you by Bermuda Cancer and Health Center.
Be sure to watch a very special edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson, featuring Bermuda's English County cricketer, Delray Rawlins, Wednesday, May 10th on ZFB TV7, beginning at 8 p.m. Watch as the exciting Sussex all-rounder offers insight into his budding career and meteoric rise to first-class cricket.
If you'd have said back in September that I was going to play the first championship game with Batnet 3, I would have laughed at you and said you're trying to have me on, but
this and more on a very special edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson, Wednesday, May 10th on ZFB TV7, beginning at 8 p.m. Sponsored by PG Sports, Paradise Air Charters, Lindo's Group of Companies, New Day Organics, exclusive distributors of Hydrate Alkaline Water, Robin Hood Pub and Restaurant, and Dennis Wainwright and Family.
We recently aired part 1 of an interview with Bermuda's first Carifta Games gold medalist, Branwen Smith-King. She has spent some 37 years as athletic director at Tufts University in Boston. Smith-King is now back home as the executive director of the Bermuda Sloop Foundation. She shared with ZBM her bit of track and field history under Coach Clive Long.
My love and joy for sports and athletics started here in Bermuda, elementary through high school, and then Clive coming along, as you know, and recruiting us and allowing us the opportunity to pursue our skills, even though we reluctantly resisted all that hard training, but it paid off. Track and field is a wonderful sport. It's as diverse sport as any. And just like sailing, anybody can do it. There's an event for everybody. Mm-hmm. And for me, the love of sport really started there, the opportunity to represent Bermuda, travel, go to the first Carifta Games in Barbados. I remember it like it was yesterday, not knowing the career path that I would take. So obviously Clive had a huge influence on a lot of our lives. And I think, I heard this before Carifta, that you know this, that, we were that good back in the day that we were beating the Jamaicas at that time. So, Bermuda has a long, wonderful tradition in the sport of track and field and being back. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to get engaged again with the young people here in Bermuda.
I know that you must be involved, I don't know to what extent, with the America's Cup.
And that's a wonderful question. I believe that the Spirit of Bermuda is the flagship of the America's Cup. So the America's Cup committee, they've going to be using our ship to be like the hospitality boat during the ship. I'm sure we're going to be planning on doing some other events on the vessel as well. So that was the reason why I came back so early, because typically I would have finished up my academic year like next week and then taken on this position. But the fact that there's so much going on, and also with the tall ships coming in, and then actually our Spirit is going up to Nova Scotia in July on a voyage, and we still have space available if people are interested.
Plug.
Yes, a little plug, of course. Yeah, I might have been here a few weeks, but that's the main thing. But yeah, so basically it's a flagship, and we don't have our full schedule yet. We're waiting for that. But for me, what a great opportunity. To me, we've both been to the Olympics, and this is like an Olympics. All the security, the planning, people from all over the world. What a great cultural experience for Bermuda. So to be part of that, the Spirit of Bermuda and the Bermuda Sloop Foundation is really outstanding. So I look forward to learning and listening and learning more about what the potential for our programs can be in the future.
Turning to sports, Bermuda athletes had remarkable performances over the past few days. Earl Basden takes a look at the weekend that was in sports.
Olympian Tyrone Smith won the Tom Telaz Invitational Men's Long Jump in Houston on Friday evening. Smith's leap of 8.34 meters is a new Bermuda record. It's also a personal best and qualifies him for the IAAF World Championships. Trey Houston also competed in the meet. He finished 6th in Heat 1 of the men's 100-meter dash with a time of 10.66, which saw him finish 9th overall. Houston would also compete in the men's 200-meter dash. He finished 4th in Heat 1, clocking a time of 21.36, which put him 9th overall again. Nicky Bascom improved to 7-0 on his boxing career after he won by unanimous decision over Mexican Dave Rangel in their welterweight bout at the National Sports Center on Saturday evening. Dominic Mayo finished 35th, competing in the 32nd Pan American Road Race Championships. In Santo Domingo, Mayo competed in the men's elite race that covered a distance of 170 kilometers. Mayo, who has been training and competing in Belgium, talked about the hot conditions in Santo Domingo.
For the last month or so, I've been in Belgium where average is about 40 degrees. So bringing layers of clothes, and yesterday I wanted to take everything off. It's really hot.
Meanwhile, on the local front, the Bermuda Bicycle Association's road race season continued with the Bicycle Works Criterium on a wet morning in Hamilton. Matthew Oliveira won the adult A division race with a time of 50:22.7. Connor White finished 2nd, 1 lap down, and Dave McCombs finished 3rd. A time of 32:34.1 saw Rosanna Hoy win the women's A division race. Sarah Burnett was 2nd in 32:42.3, and Louise Wells finished 3rd, 1 lap down. Chase Smith and Gail Lindsay of the 2017 Bermuda Healthcare Services Sir Stanley Burgess 5K road race male and female champions. Smith clocked a winning time of 16:22. Tim Price was 2nd in 17:39, and Ariel Evans was 3rd in 18:35. Lindsay was 7th across the line, and she was clocked at 19:37. Karen Smith was the 2nd female finisher and 11th overall with a time of 20:47. Laura Wright rounded out the top 3 female finishers. She was next across the line in 20:59. Continuing our lead up to the Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby, we asked Lindsay, who would be considered one of the favorites in the female division, if her preparations for the upcoming race was on track.
So I'm not actually doing May 24th this year. No, I'm training for shorter distances just now, so put that on hold for this year and maybe try next year.
I see you doing a lot of track work. What are you really getting ready for?
Island Games, it's the end of June.
Willowcotts defeated PHC by 51 runs in their 2020 match at the Somerset Cricket Club. Willowcotts batted first and scored 210 for 5 in their allotted 20 overs. Bergen Spencer and Dwight Baston both scored 38 runs. Colin Stewart was the pick of the PHC bowlers with figures of 4 overs, 1 for 27. In reply, PHC could only manage 169 for 6 in their 20 overs. Dean Richards was the top scorer with 90 not out, with Tyshawn Brown, the pick of the Willowcotts bowlers, returning figures of 4 overs, 3 for 15. In other 2020 matches, St. George's Cricket Club won by 39 runs in their 11-over match against Devonshire Recreation Club. St. George's scored 100 for 5 and restricted Devonshire Recreation Club to 61 for 4. Western Stars won their match against Flats Victoria by 8 wickets. Flats Victoria batted first and scored 81 for 8, and Western Stars scored 84 for 2. Bermuda Olympic swimmer Rebecca Halliger competed in the Farum Cup in Denmark. A time of 58.41 saw Halliger clock the third fastest time in the women's 100-meter freestyle final. Halliger finished second competing in the women's 50-meter freestyle final when she touched the wall in a time of 26.88. Youngsters Nicholas Pilgrim and Caleb Ingham competed in the East Coast Triathlon Festival in Virginia. Competing in the elite male youth division among 64 competitors, Pilgrim finished 9th with a time of 31:14.3, while Ingham crossed the line 35th in a time of 33:03.1. There was an exciting finish to the Johnny Walker Classic with a playoff for first place in the senior amateur division between Kevon Trott and Alan Bradshaw. Trott will win on the first playoff hole, which was on the 18th at the Ocean View Golf Course. Both players shot second round 1 over par 74s. Damian Paliande once again showed his form and won the Open Amateur Division by 4 strokes over Leroy Robinson. Paliande shot a second round 3 under par 67, while Robinson shot a second round 1 over par 71. In the professional division, Dwayne Pearman won by a convincing margin. He claimed the title by 6 strokes over Daniel Augustus. Pearman stroked a second round 4 under par 66, with Augustus shooting a 1 under par 69. 38 Bermuda youngsters took to the waters of Hamilton Harbor on Saturday and Sunday, looking for the 6 available spots up for grabs for the America's Cup Endeavor Open. Sebastian Kemp finished on top of the leaderboard with 22 net points. Kemp recorded 3 wins, 4 seconds, and 2/3 over the 2 days. Aidan Lopes finished second with 24 net points, while Azai Smith finished third with 26 net points. NYAO baseball action in the East End on Saturday. The Angels stayed in it until the end. They had built a 7-0 lead, but the Marlins chipped away and then pulled away late with a 14-8 victory. A walk-off homer left the Cubs on the wrong end of a 15-14 defeat to the Angels in the second game of the day. The game was tied at 14, with the Angels batting in the bottom of the 6th. Then Stephen Painter homered for the win. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
If you're looking for extra savings and free benefits
with car insurance
and home insurance,
Colonial has just the cover you need.
there's a free $250 gift voucher for new home insurance customers too, and 10% car insurance discount if you have home insurance.
With a claim service that's quick and friendly.
We call it Cover Without Added Costs.
Call for a quote on 296-3700 or visit cgigroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
Jane's a senior living alone. Although she's getting old, like all of us, she's still young at heart and wants to live a full life. So she hired our trained caregivers at Bermuda In-Home Care. We're a one-stop shop that includes home cleaning, meal preparations, medicine purchases with free delivery, transportation, and much more. So Jane is free to do what's truly important to her. Call 441-705-4424 now for a free consultation or visit our website at bermudainhomecare.com today for more information.
Be watching on Monday, May 15th for the 108th Pre-Applebee Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Special. One thing is certain, new champions will be crowned as the race comes out of the East End for only the second time in 39 years. Last year's winners Lamont Marshall and Ashley Eswanek have opted not to compete. Several key runners are absent this year, but we will be speaking with the new favorites. That's the pre-Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon Derby special, Monday, May 15th at 8 p.m. on ZFB TV 7.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Good night.